Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Spoiler Alert, brought to you by Second Opinion Productions, taking over the globe one podcast at a time. I'm Soleb, joined by my partner in crime, Skelly. What's going on, brother?
Not much, dude.
Not much. Well, today we are here to review Transformers Fall of Cybertron. It's a direct continuation of War for Cybertron, and in this game, the Transformers are at full-on civil war. And there's two factions, Autobots and Decepticons. Now, as you all remember, in the last game, the Decepticons were having a little bit more push on winning this war. But I'm going to tell you, Skelly, this is by far one of the best games I've played in a while.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing.
Pretty awesome.
I didn't think I was going to get into it, but after about 2 seconds, I'm just like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, man, I was really blown away by the story. What's awesome about it is that it really gives you a connection with all the playable characters. And another thing they did this time, instead of it having like a full Autobot section that you play through all the way and then you play the Decepticons, it mixes the story.
Yes.
And I really like that. It kind of tells the story as a story, and then you just basically play little bits here and there. And as you can see right now in the video, it's kind of showing the intro. But in this intro, it's actually the end of the game, and then it's going to flip back, and you're going to see what happened in the beginning. So let's go ahead and talk about gameplay. The gameplay of this game is smooth, quick, fast-paced, and like never before. You agree with me, Skelly?
Oh, I do. I didn't really run into any issues as far as button lag or as far as, you know, control sticking or any kind of like jerks in the animations at all. Everything was perfectly smooth.
Yeah. Now, one thing about this too is that every character has their own special and unique abilities. So, like with Autobot Jazz, he has this whole grapple hook. Optimus Prime can control, Metroplex later on in the game to do like airstrikes and stuff like that. I really felt that they did an awesome job with building this, I guess, custom gameplay for each character instead of making it very similar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as you can see right here, there's this kind of like slow down mode, kind of like a sleeping dog thing, to where you're like going through shooting each one of them.
Yeah, it's their own Transformers version of bullet time.
Exactly.
I really didn't see it too often in the game, though, which I was happy about. Because you see a lot of these games now throw in the bullet time, like the old Max Payne slowdown, just to throw it in the game for no reason. And this, I didn't really see it too much except right there. But that was basically just getting you accustomed to, you know, shooting.
Yeah, exactly. It was getting you, I guess, as you said, adjusted to it. But they didn't cling onto that as one of the key parts of the game. Anyways, so gameplay in this title is simply amazing.
The one thing I didn't really like about the gameplay, I mean, I know it's smooth, perfect, is the aim assist is a little too, you know, generous. I mean, you could be, you know, not even really looking at a guy and you pull in the left trigger to zoom in and it auto-targets on him. That was a little too generous. If they, in a future update, if they tweak that down just a little bit so you actually have to control your fire and, you know, have a little bit more aim, I think it'll be a lot better. It won't be, it won't be so noob friendly.
Now, as you all can see too, Skelly was a little lost right there at that point.
No, it's because I knew that there was nothing I could do, and I'm the kind of guy who will search around an area to see if there's anything hidden. So I knew there was nothing I could do here because it was like a small mini almost cutscene. So I'm sitting there like, yep, if there's anything in the room I can find, let's do it.
But yeah, the gameplay is really, really great. Now let's talk about graphics. The graphics are, and I know there's a lot of people that'll sit there and say I might be a little too generous, but in my viewpoint, the graphics are outstanding. It's real eye popping with the colors. The one thing that was a problem with me about the last one, they had color schemes and stuff like that, but in this one they make the graphics a lot more natural and organic. You know what I'm saying? Do you agree with me, Skelly?
I think that I mean, don't get me wrong, the graphics are good. I think they have manipulated you in your perfect infatuation with bright lights, because they threw in a lot of flashy things that, you yourself will sit there and be like, oh, sweet, flashy things, great graphics. I'm sitting here looking at like, yeah, it's okay. It's not the most graphically interesting game I've ever played, or it's not as in-depth graphically as I think it could be, but it is pretty. Yay, bright lights for all you ADD kids out there.
Shut up, Skelly. Okay, so one thing I do want to talk about on this as well, character design. That's usually something that we don't talk about in reviews, but as a Transformers fan, you can definitely tell the difference with this one and the last one, between Fall for Cybertron and War for Cybertron. Each one of the characters have a little bit more detail than what they usually do, and I feel that really added into my enjoyment in this experience.
Oh yeah, the character models models are perfectly and on point.
Go ahead.
I loved it. They did the Transformers justice with the character models.
They really did, and they changed. One thing that was always a question. One thing that was always a question of mine is, there's a lot, as you can see on some of the characters, there's like on their backs, like Optimus Prime, and whenever you play Megatron, you can see some of their parts on their back are moving. And to me, those little ads, those little touches right there, make it seem a lot more personal, a lot more realistic. Because whenever you add those, you really kind of start thinking, well, this guy is a machine. You kind of forget about it because you do get that connection with these characters. But whenever if you're just standing still in a room, you could see on his back, like, some little movements on some of the mechanics and stuff like that. But I think that's a really cool addition that they did to the game as well.
I like this.
But let's also talk about music. This scene right here, that was awesome. Like the music and audio of the game. The voice acting is on key 100%. I mean, they have a lot of the original cast back, and I feel this time that they did even better than what they did in the first one. What do you think, Skelly?
Oh, I think so too. I seriously love, and I don't know if it's the same voice actor from the movies, but the guy who does Optimus Prime's voice. Is it the same guy from the movies?
It's the same exact, it's the same exact guy from the movies.
Okay, yeah, because that's something that drew me in, because in the movies, Optimus Prime always sounded so freaking amazing, and when he spoke, you like paid attention. And in this movie, it commands that same exact respect. It's like, okay, Optimus is speaking, let me pay attention.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. But as is, like, these type of scenes right here, they have a lot more of the interactive scenes like this, or dynamic scenes in the game, and it adds that cinematic touch that some of the movies did as well. I think adding things like this really increased the thrill of the game. Do you agree, Skelly?
Yes. Yeah. I love the little driving parts as there's
now let's talk
things flying at you as you're driving, and the driving mechanics were perfect. I hate driving games, to be 100% honest, and any game that incorporates driving into the gameplay, I'm like, oh, this is going to fucking suck. But this game, I actually thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was probably one of the better driving things I did. If you watched that part a second ago, I really didn't hit much of anything, which is, for me, a huge accomplishment.
It's a very big deal.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the mechanics of the game as well as of control scheme. The control scheme is nice. It's very simple. They didn't really ask you to. You don't have to like hold down this button, push this button. The control layout is good. I think they could have done a little bit more with it though too. Whenever it comes down to the transforming aspect,
Yeah.
There's a few times that I get, you know, I was actually, which I might be the only one, but there was a few times I kind of got a little confused because you have those special usages. That's not even a word. Freaking Texas idiot.
I didn't have to say
you have
it this
those
time.
special. You have those special moments with each one of the characters, like Jazz having his grapple hook and so on and so forth. It's the R2 button on the PlayStation 3. Right. Whenever you're doing that, there's a few times that they actually tell you to push R2, like whenever you're playing Grimlock. Push R2 to turn into Grimlock, and you'll turn into the dinosaur mode. So throughout the game, there was a few times I got confused because usually you're pushing down on the joystick to transform. Right. And it completely throws me off, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if this happened to you, Skelly, but
yes.
it really threw me off.
It does throw you off just a little bit, but then once you get used to it and you play it a little bit, you know, I won't say you'll get used to it right off the bat, or, you know, it's something that you'll enjoy. No, Bumblebee. Yeah. No, but you do eventually get used to it. It took me a little while. It was closer towards the end of the game where I started getting used to it a little bit.
Yeah. And real quick, we'll also talk about the multiplayer. The multiplayer is great. If you liked War for Cybertron, you will love Fall for Cybertron multiplayer. It is a direct copy of that game, and one of the biggest things about it is that you know, it adds the excitement from the multiplayer from War for Cybertron. Now, that's the one thing that there was a lot of gamers that were a little weary about this game coming out because, you know, they had War for Cybertron, and then High Moon actually created the Dark Side of the Moon movie game for Transformers. Right. And there was a lot of people that were excited about it, and they were like, hey, dude, they did an awesome job with War for Cybertron, but the Dark Moon game sucked. It really, it was really bad.
And see, I don't want to get into that discussion, but this game right here in this studio proves to the community and the fans of, you know, gaming in general that they can put out an amazing game of any series, but once you move into the movie version of a game, or a game version of a movie, and the studio gets involved and basically tells them what they can and can't do. We see it with High Moon Studios. War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron, two amazing games. Once they got the studio involved on Dark of the Moon, you saw where the studio's influence drew back from what they could do.
Exactly. And that's the point that I was trying to make, is that whenever they had the studio come in, there, it pretty much destroyed the experience. Right. But whenever it was just High Moon working on this game, it literally, now I don't know if anyone else knows this, but the story from War for Cybertron and Fall for Cybertron was so good. Hasbro actually picked it up as the official history of Transformers.
Yes. How
they got to Earth. Now that shows you right there that that your studio is doing the right thing.
Exactly.
So they also have a mode. They also have a mode in the game called Escalation, and it's actually a horde mode. Now, Skelly, did you like this mode?
It was pretty decent. Any of you guys out there who are fans of, you know, horde mode in Gears of War, or any other game that has a similar type mode, you'll thoroughly enjoy it. You know, you start out with a wave of or even fans of Black Ops Zombies. You start out with a wave of enemies.
Yeah.
You kill them. At the end of it, you can power up your weapons. You can buy upgrades. And then a minute later, you have another wave, and they're even harder. Kill them, upgrade your weapons, and I don't know what level it actually goes up to as far as when it ends, or, you know, like Gears of War 3, it ends at level 50. I don't know when this one ends. I didn't get that deep into it, but it's one of those modes that will keep you coming back to, you know, have fun with your friends on a Saturday night if you're drunk and don't want to go to the bar. You throw in this, play a little bit of escalation, have fun.
And this is one thing that I'm talking about right here, guys. You can see Optimus in his vehicle mode. This is something I'm talking about with character design. It looks really, really good. I mean, the vehicle mode, it's completely opposite. It has a lot more of the mechanical aspect of it. And that's the reason why I was saying the organic, like an organic mechanical thing. It looks a lot more realistic, the way they designed them. But by far, this is one of the best Transformer titles I have ever played. I finished it. Obviously, the review is a little late. We had a few problems here and there, but I finished it in due time, and I love the game. I'm going to give the game a 9 out of 10. It was one of the most enjoyable experiences. The only problem that I had, and it could have just been with the PlayStation 3 version, there was a few times that I was playing through and like there was too much going on the screen and it froze my system. And then I just had to restart it. And there was actually one point that it froze it so bad I had to delete my last checkpoint and then play back through that section of the level. After that, it never happened again. So it could have just been my PlayStation 3. But I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for bringing this game out. Now, what about you, Skelly? What do you think?
Minus the, you know, like I said before, the graphics not being the greatest. They are good. I'm going to give it an 8.
We need to stabilize his power.
It's a great game. Pick it up. Play it. You'll enjoy it in a few months. In a few months after you've played enough of Halo or Black Ops, or, you know, Assassin's Creed, you'll always find yourself coming back to play this game. This game does have replayability, and that's the one thing I love about it.
Yeah, it does have replayability. And just because I'm such an amazing fan of this game, I'm going to overrule Skelly's 8 and boost it up to a 9. So this game gets a 9 out of 10.
Boo.
Gets a 9 out of 10, Skelly.
But see, you played it on You played it on PS3. I played it on 360. So I win.
Yeah, true. But anyways, guys, this is the spoiler alert of Transformers Fall for Cybertron. We're giving it a 9 out of 10. Amazing game. Make sure to check out all the other reviews, previews, and much more coming to secondopinionpod.com. Thank you so much, High Moon, for sending out this review copy. And that's it, guys.
Peace.
Talk to you later.
Count me in. Get these enforcers on.
You might want to gear up at the teletrans.
Take cover! Put out that fire. They're gone. Nothing we can do for them. Keep working.
Optimus, you are the last hope. Long live the last prime. anything I can use to protect the Autobots. Autobots, we are about to enter a target. You want the honors, Optimus? It's your show, Warpath. Listen up! We got cons right outside this door. When the door opens, we go out hard. You will engage the enemy with guns blazing and gears grinding.
Yes, sir!
Hit on 3, 2, 1. Keep attack formation! This way, Optimus! Let's move it! These cons! What are you grunts waiting for? Follow Prime! Keep pushing forward! Clear. Warpath, meet me at the door to the nerve center. We fight in the name of freedom. This jetpack is still locked. We need to remove it. Carefully. You saying I'm not careful?
Optimus, scout report the Decepticon dropship is coming in hot.
Looks like that jetpack will have to wait. Autobots, take defensive positions. Optimus, you have dibs on that gun turret? I'm on it. I like the perspective this offers.
Decepticon dropship!
We must protect this door at all costs.
All right, Prime!
Heads up! More Decepticons dead ahead! I'm gonna beat you till you rattle! Decepticons, high left! Unfortunate but necessary. Stand your ground, Autobots. Enemy is on the zone. Prepared soon. Keep them away from the nerve center. He should never have challenged us. That's the last of them. Good work, Autobots.
No, it's
deal with that jetpack. Welcome, Boost. All right, Warpath. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Warpath, secure the area, then make your way to the Ark. Protect it at all costs. Yes, Prime!
Optimus? Perceptor has been waiting for you, sir.
Where is he now?
At the central hub. He's been rewiring things all day.
Optimus,
Perceptor.
meet me at the command terminal. We nearly have the nerve center up and running again. Primus, there goes another molecular fuse. Optimus, if you'd be so kind as to locate another fuse.
I'll handle it, Perceptor.
That should do it. There they are. I've located artillery units throughout this complex that we could use to repel Megatron's attack. I've been trying to get these weapons online, but they're quite old and...
We don't have enough energon.
Everything we have is fueling the Ark.
Can we spare any of it and still launch?
It's worth